You always have to have the light in front of you, and that light that's over your shoulder, that's going to automatically make you look darker because the computer is going to try to compensate.
Is that better? The light's right there.
Yeah,
The light's right there in front of me.
that's fine.
Okay.
All right, tell me what has been happening this week with your practice.
Okay. Well, about payments, I talked to my dad today,
Oh,
and
okay.
but it wasn't until like tonight since we both work today.
Yes.
Able to do it tomorrow though.
Okay, that sounds good. Sounds good. And you want to continue another month? Is that confirmed or
Um, I don't know about yes, a whole another month of lessons. Yes, sorry. I thought you were talking about payments. Sorry.
one? So one more month of lesson. Okay, so I will go ahead and put that on the calendar and bill you for it. And if what typically uh, needs to happen is you pay by the first before the first like so by the end of the month before for the coming month. Makes sense. So by February, is it a leap year? Are we 28 days this year or 29 days? Whatever we are. By
Oh,
the end of February, you pay for March.
oh, okay.
Is that going to be a problem, or do you need to like split that into two?
I didn't know about that, so I'll probably have to talk to my dad about that tomorrow.
Okay, all right, you find out, and
Oh,
but yeah, that's how the payments always work. So
yes,
that
ma'am.
was on the policies page, but you may not have read it. A lot of people are like, just how do I get started? Just I want to start. All right. So that's like, yeah. Anyways, today I went to the doctor's office and had to have an ultrasound, and they're throwing like 85 pieces of paper at you, and they're like, just can we just get the ultrasound, please?
Oh,
All right. It's like,
what were
which
you?
one? Hmm? Oh, not for a baby. For
Oh,
no, no, that ship sailed. But I got all the kids I want, all the kids I need, all the kids I can manage. I can hardly manage myself, much less another child. I got three. So no, it's for I don't know, it's a gallbladder thing.
oh, yes, ma'am.
It's an old person problem. Um, okay, so tell me what has been happening with first, let's get your audio set up. Okay, your audio settings. So go to your little mute, your little place where you would mute yourself.
Yes, ma'am.
And there's that little caret. Click
Yes,
on the caret, gives you the pop-up menu. Click at the bottom of that menu that says audio settings.
yes, ma'am.
Okay, and then scroll about halfway down. You should see, well, on your version, depends on what your version is, but mine says music and professional audio. Does yours say that?
Um, I just see all the tabs on the left. Like,
Okay, so make sure that audio on the left is highlighted. It says general, and this says video, and this says audio. Click
audio,
on audio, and then look under on the right side now. And are you on a laptop or are you on a little device?
I'm on a laptop.
Okay, so you should have like on the right side, it should say speaker, and this got settings for the speaker and the microphone. Then you got one that says suppress background noise. You want that to be on auto. And then go to where it says music and professional audio, if it has it on there.
Wait, I just went to advanced settings and it's suppressed persistent background noise, suppressed intermittent background noise, and echo cancellation.
Okay, where on yours does it say show in meeting option to enable original sound?
Right in front of me.
Okay, so is that checked? Yes. Great. That's the biggest thing. And then we may or may not need, is yours echo cancellation checked, Mark? Positive?
For echo, I can turn it to just auto. It's on aggressive right now.
I would put it on auto. Yeah.
Okay.
We'll start with that because that's an older, like you haven't probably updated your Zoom in a while.
Uh-huh.
So that's an older setting, which is fine. It's the way mine used to look. They've had a bunch of different not upgrade is not the right word, updates since then. So, but let's start with that and then we'll mess with it if we need to. Okay. The biggest thing is original sound. All right. So now, since that's checked, go ahead and close out your audio settings and then go back to your screen. And top left, it should say somewhere, a little button or something, original sound, and it'll say colon off or colon on. Which one is it?
It's my original sound's on.
Okay, then we should theoretically be good.
Mhm.
Okay, then, okay, so let's talk about what have you been doing to for your practice this week?
Um, I've been singing a lot to myself. I kind of
Okay.
when I sang to you those two songs, I've been trying to like not. I just don't know how to fix it where I get nervous in front of people. And I know we talked about it a lot.
Mhm.
But I've been singing a lot. I can do the R's. I think I did the fire engine like once. I didn't do a lot of the drills this week.
Okay,
I had a lot of
okay,
work this week.
what?
But I'm always singing though. Always singing.
Okay, well, that's very good. Okay,
Work.
but you want to develop your voice, so I don't give you drills to make myself feel better.
Yes, ma'am.
That was a little wrist slap. Boom. Okay. All right. So now, I mean, just remember the more you practice the things that I ask you to practice, the more you're going to see the effect of those in your singing, the more it's going to be like, wow, I have more something resonance or agility or duration or expression or something. But you have to get yourself going on some type of daily regimen. I have not given you a lot, in part because you're a student, and also because you're not like trying to be a professional. But what I have given you, I want you to do it daily, because we're talking so far 5 to 10 minutes. Okay, so and we've talked about you. I think you said you don't really sing in the shower much.
No, I always sing in the shower.
Okay, good. We'll start doing your exercises in the shower.
Yes,
I
ma'am.
mean, because that's like that's found time, right? You sing in the shower because it sounds awesome for all the reasons we may have already discussed. So, so start doing exercises in the shower. If you shower every day, I don't know if you're a long showerer or a short showerer, but try to spend 5 to 10 minutes doing your exercises in the shower too. And that's going to make your singing outside the shower all the better. But you got to find some habit. That's why we're starting small, because you've got to start with some small habit to make, like, if you want to sing better,
Mm-hmm.
you have to find how it's going to work. You make it work for you, but you got to make it work. So, and I can offer you ideas and stuff, but my favorite place to practice is in the shower. All right. And also in the car. I do a lot in the car. Like, I will literally take my phone and I will have exercises that I Bluetooth pair to my car, and that's a quiet. Well, you do that. Ouch. You do that. You've done that. So
Yeah.
that's a great place. Now you have to watch the posture, but that's and your neck position, but it's
Yeah.
it's a great place. All right. So all right, moving on. I want to hear well, we're going for 45 minutes tonight. I shifted you to 45 minutes, so we're good. So I've got that kind of in my mind.
Yes, ma'am.
Let's hear you do a fire engine, the first one, and we'll springboard off of that and just start there.
Okay. Can I watch you do it?
Yes, of course. Mm-hmm. Mm.
You kind of cut off when you were at the very top.
No, it's because I turned off my original sound, because if we both have our original sound off, then it sometimes starts echoing. So, but okay. But you get the idea. I think, like, I did a complete one and I made it, it was pretty good rainbow, in terms of being
I suck at these.
symmetrical. So low to high to low, humming in one breath.
I'm trying to think. Oh no.
Okay. Can I make an observation about that? That is the first time, I think, that you have, or like one of the few times that you've made it past your laryngeal shift, for me, with a fire engine.
Well, it sounded like see that. I don't know how to explain it.
Don't critique it. Just make an observation.
Well, yeah, it's just like sometimes it's like fake singing. Like if I'm singing through my nose or something. And it's not like really singing. It's just kind of like I don't know how to explain it. I feel like I'm cheating in a way.
Like you're cheating? No, sounds like you're singing to me. I mean, you're humming.
Yeah. It's
It's
just like I don't know. It's like singing through my nose.
Nasally sounding.
Yeah.
Okay, here's what nasally. Let me do a demonstration, because you're not nasal. You're not singing nasally. There's a difference between, like, humming is vibrating here. Okay, so it's happening here. It's very forward. Oh, it can be back here. Okay, but then we're not going for that. We're going for kind of a forward sound, which you're doing. You're executing very nicely. Here's what you're doing. And you can feel it in your nose, okay? Because that's where a lot of the vibration's happening inside. The resonance is happening here in a forward way. What you're thinking of sounding like is this. Like kind of jammed up into your nose. But I'm not hearing that. I don't think you're doing that. If you were doing that, you wouldn't be able to, like, you can only go so far. Your transition from low range to high range would be really, really hard, fraught with difficulty. So, because it's all jammed up into your nose, but I'm not hearing that. And I'm hearing an ease of passage, so to speak, as you're sliding up through your scale. So, you're doing fine. All right, so give it another shot. And try, if you would, let's do this. We're going to do a couple of things to help you kind of like calm yourself a little bit and approach it in a little bit calmer way, mentally and physically. So I want you to, when you do your inhale, to prepare for the onset, meaning starting the tone. I want you to inhale through your nose and take a nice deep breath, and remember to expand this way, not here. I'm not seeing a lot of this today, so that's good. Just shoulders are down.
I was going on.
What's that?
I noticed my.
Okay, but you noticed it. Okay, so that's the beginning of being able to change something is recognizing it, right? So so that's good. I consider that a step forward, right? So inhale through your nose, expand this way. That in and of itself is like a calming thing. It signals to your brain, I'm preparing for this. Here we go. Okay, as opposed to taking a fast breath through your mouth and right. So your onset is smoother and more controlled and relaxed. You just really want to relax into it. All right, give it a shot. See where we get with it.
Sort of. I ran out of breath.
Okay. Well, I got a question for you. So on my end, and I don't know how it's going to sound in the recording afterwards, but on my end, this is exactly how it sounded, and I want to find out if this is what you were doing or not. So this is exactly how it sounded. There was no slide. It was all stair step. Was that what you were doing?
No, I tried to. I guess I wasn't really thinking about it, but I know not to do the.
Okay, so that just, what that tells me is that your original sound, I think, might be off. It's trying to cut you out, or maybe the noise suppression is too strong, and we
Should you turn off your original sound?
turn it off. I actually turned mine off while you were going.
Oh, okay.
Try to, but when you have original sound on, and noise suppression is canceled, then it should theoretically not cut you out like that. So it might be that we'll do it at, we're gonna do this one more time anyway, so we'll see if that. Now, where your thing says original sound, what does it exactly say? Original sound, colon.
It just gives me an arrow down.
Okay, click your arrow down. So that the arrow down should be for your microphone.
Original sound. MacBook Air microphone, MacBook Air microphone.
Okay, so that's not what you want. What you want is for it to say original sound colon on. If it doesn't say that,
I would turn off again. So turn off original sound.
Yeah, you want it on. You want original sound on. Because when original sound is on, that means like whatever originates on your side is going to come through.
Yeah.
And not be suppressed. And this, I'm gonna have you do it again, and I'm gonna mute myself this time just to see if it makes a difference. But now, give me an observation about that.
It was easier doing it because I did it. I guess.
It was easier doing it because you did it.
Like I was getting higher because I went higher last time. I was able to add into it.
Okay. All right.
Kind of.
One more observation.
I mean,
that okay. Next observation.
Oh, sorry. I need to focus on more slide. It is possible I may have.
You're really like totally getting cut out. Let me turn off my original sound. Say that last sentence again.
I should watch out if I'm cutting or not. Like if I'm just, or if I'm sliding.
Okay. Well, what was the observation about that? Sorry.
Be like, watch my voice more.
Oh, okay, okay. I think it was the sound audio. I don't think it was you. Because you did not look at all like you were, there was nothing in your body that was going like this. So I was like, audio. I think it's audio. Okay. All right. So let's do it one more time and just see if you can capitalize on that flow. My observation about that one was assuming, that it was a smooth ascent and it wasn't doing that, which I think it was. I think you told me you were sliding, you weren't stair stepping. Is that was the smoothest, farthest, most connected you've ever done it for me that I can remember.
Sweet.
So, that just is like one of those little benchmark things to take note of and maybe do a little happy dance. So, all right. So I'm going to mute myself and I want you to do one more and think about what observations you would make. Here we go.
My voice kind of cracked. If I didn't go as high as that much because I my voice cracked.
Yeah, I think you were scared away from it the second time because of the first one. And what was happening was,
But I
well,
did notice that I do kind of do the blocks.
I didn't hear that at all.
I didn't notice I was doing it, but I'm kind of doing it.
You kind of
But I
hesitate.
fixed it like midway.
Okay.
It was fun.
Well,
It was fun.
that's a different thing from stair stepping. What you're doing is, I think subconsciously, you know that laryngeal shift is coming,
Hmm.
and you're kind of sort of hesitating, but that's a little different from stair stepping the pitches.
Oh, okay.
So the second time, it seemed to me uh, that perhaps you, and when I say second time, I mean like these last two that you just did, not the first one. Forget that one, kids. Those the smooth one that you got about like here, right? You went up to like here and then ran out of breath. All right. So these last two, the first one being the one you flipped in your larynx did its little adjustment and you went boop 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 like that, and you called it your voice cracking, which is basically what people call it. All right. This time, the last time, you didn't get to where your larynx would shift.
Hmm.
You stayed underneath that pitch, and like playing it safe.
Yeah.
Um, so, but I'm gonna encourage you, don't play it safe. Like what'll be helpful is for you is if you go ahead and let the larynx do what it needs to do and teach you what you need to do to support that. Like your larynx is going to teach
Say
you
it
a
again.
ton of stuff. You just got to give it the opportunity.
Can you say it again?
Yeah. So the now I got to repeat what I said. So the and how I said it. And it will be in the recording
Sure.
because I remembered to turn on the recording. The so when you it's going to help you to continue through where the larynx has to shift so that so the larynx can teach you what it needs in order to be able to shift smoothly. It's going to teach you. It will teach you that, but you have to let it do it. You can't like be afraid that it's going to skip around, because it may or may not skip around. The first time you did your first fire engine, or the previous one right before these last two, did not skip. Remember that?
Hmm.
So it's not like it happens every single time. And you have to camp out on that successful one.
Yeah.
97% of singing is camping out on those successful ones and going, okay, I can actually do this. Now, how can I recreate that and have it happen again? And then you get to where it's like 50% of the time. And then you get to where it's like 60% of the time. And you get, so you're just working your way. And all the while you're doing that, your body's teaching you how to support it better. Because a lot of that's happening is resonance. The resonance, you have what's called a shift of resonance when you go from your lower range to your upper range. When you go from resonating primarily in the lower part of your body to the upper part of your body. And what causes that to happen is the laryngeal shift. So when you're doing your Sam Smith sad songs, do you know who Sam Smith is?
Yeah, I know it is.
I mean, he sings a lot of stuff where he goes up into his head voice and stuff. And where was I going with that? The larynx has shifted, and it goes into a place that throws the resonance into a different place. It starts to resonate primarily here, all here. It's why they call it head voice. because you feel the sensations more in your head. And when it, like right now, I'm speaking in my chest voice, and the resonance is primarily happening here, where the sound waves are bouncing around. Then if I talk up here, it is, that was sudden and abrupt, but the resonance is primarily happening up here. And my larynx did its big shift. So I went drastically and quickly between this and this. So, and that's what you're doing. It's just that we're trying to smooth it out. So you're, and learn how to navigate the voice and the breath and the laryngeal shift, to have that shift, to have the voice stay as connected as it possibly can be through the process, because the process is going to happen. If you want to get from your low voice to your high voice, that shift has to physically happen. So we learn, and the voice teaches us how to manage it. And it's a management thing. Does that make sense? Do you have any questions about that so
I'm
far?
just learning, so
You
it's all
what?
interesting. I never really thought about voices like that, like how you
Yeah,
can change from low to high and all
yeah, yeah. It's like the more you know, you're like, oh, that explains a lot.
that.
Like
Yeah.
for me, the first time, like on a metaphor, the first time I ever really studied Genesis in the Bible, I was like, oh, I was like, oh, that explains so much stuff. It's like unlocking a key that like unlocks something. So that's why we study, like, okay, what's the larynx doing? How does it interact with the people say, oh my word, how many times were you in plays or choirs or whatever, you'd be told to sing from your diaphragm or speak from your diaphragm?
Well, I only did middle school plays, so I don't really remember them.
Oh, they may not have said that, but it's very common, but never explained. And a lot of times people who say that don't even know what it means. So like, no, honest to goodness, I mean that with all my heart, because I've had a wonderful, wonderful voice teacher and choir director and Broadway singer who told me something completely wrong about what the diaphragm is. And not being ill-intentioned, just out of ignorance. And what he was probably saying what his voice teacher told him.
Yeah.
Especially when you're not being taught in a school with a certifiable curriculum, and you're just going by somebody who sings professionally, who's amazing, who may or may not know why their voice does what it does. So they teach you. So like, yeah. So once I started learning that, studying with somebody who actually taught me that, and it was like a key unlocking my voice. So, that's what I'm very intentional about, making sure my students understand the mechanics of their voice and their breath, so that that key can unlock their voice. All right, now, okay, we're gonna run out of time. So I want to know if you want to sing me one of your songs, or maybe the first one that didn't go as well as you wanted it to go, or do you want me to keep, like, I want to hear you do one of the exercises that I've given you. Like, didn't I give you a Ma number one? Did I send you the link for that?
What's the name of it again? I don't think so.
As the boring name of Ma number one. Or did I give you the Rossini scale? Or did I give you any of that? Or have we just been stuck on Fire Engine all this time?
You might have, but I've not seen them.
Okay, you know what it is? I like to get to that point with you, but you had to miss one because you have family in town, and then you started your job. And so really last week was the first time. No, last week was your first week at no, last week was our first time to do a full hour in several weeks. Okay, so we just haven't gotten to it yet. Okay, so let me give you an exercise, and I'm going to find it real quick, and I'm going to send you.
I'm gonna sit down.
Okay, please do.
Sorry.
Standing too. No, it's fine. I spent a lot of time sitting today, so I try to stand more. Where is it? It's not working. I don't know what my Safari is like frozen. Hold on a second.
Million tabs.
No, I don't have a million open at present. I normally do. Let's see. Yeah, I opened so many that it's like, can't keep track of them anymore. All right, let me open this drive. Ah, there we go. Okay, so I'm gonna send you access to, this is for low voice. I'm gonna think that that'll be good for you. Jack McClearn. All right, so my number one. Now, let me explain it to you a little bit. So there's a pattern. Did I do this right? Yes. Make sure I don't have another copy of this too. Okay. So this goes like this. We're gonna start out on a hum. And you're gonna hum and not break the tone. Like don't stop your voice, just open up into ah and then go ma ma. So you're only singing 3 ma's, starting on a hum. Ma ma ma. Okay, real simple. And if I was to put numbers on these, it would be 5 3 1.
Okay.
As in a scale, it would be 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8. Okay, that's an octave. Do you remember the term octave from school
Yes,
music lessons and stuff? There's there are only 7 tones, 12 semitones, whatever, 7 tones in music. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7. Then on the 8th one, it starts to repeat it again. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7. Yeah, again, 1 2 3. Okay. So, all right. So that's why, I might give you a pattern. In this case, it would be 5 3 1, and sometimes I'll go like this.
The numbers helped.
What?
The numbers
The
helped.
numbers help. Okay. And sometimes I'll do this for a visual. 5 3 1, right? Or 5 3 1, whatever. Like just to try to give you a picture, like follow the bouncing ball. So, so when you're doing the ma, and I'll play it for you in just a second, so you can hear the recording and we can talk about it before I set you free with it. Here's how the pattern will go and the rhythm of it. Hold on, I just ate some apples, so I have a lot of saliva. Ma, ma, ma. That's too loud. Ma, ma, ma. Ma, ma, ma. Ma, ma, ma. Ma, ma, ma. Now in the recording I sent you, it might be a little slower than that. So let's play this together so that you can hear it. If I can find it again, where did it go? Okay, here we go. And I sent you the access to it in your.
Yes, ma'am. I just saw it.
Okay, good. All right, so here. Oh, why? I don't know why that's not playing. Okay. Chrome and Apple do not play well together. slower. Can you hear that? Okay, I want to say something about this. So in this, there's like this almost full beat in between the and then you hear this break in the piano. Ma, but that's because you have to physically lift your finger to play the note again to get the.
Oh.
What you really want is ma. Right? You hear the difference between those two? I don't want this. Ma. I don't want any breath there. I don't want any stop there. I don't want you to stop your voice.
Oh.
This production to keep going. Just open up into awe from that hum. And then the other two are full on ma. Does that make sense? Bless you.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
So, okay. Now I gotta go. But just send me any questions that you have as you get going with it and you are listening to it. And it's pretty low, but I think it's gonna be okay for you. That's in the second octave. So it might be that you hear that, but you sing here. It doesn't really matter what octave you sing it in, just sing it.
Yes, ma'am.
Try to match it to your ear and do your best to sing the pattern.
Yes, ma'am.
Make sense? Any questions?
No, ma'am.
Okay. Do you want to see if you can download it real quick, or did you already do that?
See if I can what? Say it again.
You want to see if you can download it real quick before I go?
Download it? I can download it.
Okay. All right. Good.
Yes, ma'am.
All right.
Sweet. Thank you.
I'll put the recording to this in your duet partner account, and are you seeing those? Are you getting those emails of like?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. All right. Good. All right. Make sure you're taking notes of things like if you're not taking notes during our lesson, take 5 minutes or so after we're done to jot down the things that we have talked about. Start yourself a singer's notebook. Start yourself a pad of sticky notes. I don't care, whatever it takes, like so that you are recording some of your observations, talking about the things that I tell you to do, or the things that I teach you during these lessons, or else it's, you'll only retain a very small percentage of what we talk about. And, but if you'll take a few minutes to reflect and get it out of your brain and onto the paper, you'll have that to draw on, because tomorrow you won't remember what we said today. Now that's why we record too, but still it's another way to reinforce the learning. Make sense?
Sweet. Thank you.
Okay. Bye,
Have
Jeff.
a good night.
Have a good week.
You too.